Alright, good. So extreme is solid today. So no major flare again. Eesh. So, alright, so we are streaming once again.
Okay then.
Do you want to say also the thing we found out yet? We figured out yesterday for the Asari?
Nah, screw it. I wouldn't remember what all I said anyway.
Alright. You can always look on the chat, but yeah.
I'm a rambling conspiracy theorist, Kit.
Which isn't a bad thing.
It is when you want to try and actually state things. I can't remember a coherent thought.
Which is why I said that.
Yes, but that would still... Hey, why don't we have all the weapons?
Huh? Because this is the this is the one that came from 2.
Shameful.
Yeah, this is
Shameful.
ugly ass male shepherd.
Well, make sure you store up all the weapons. What? You might as well just overload everything. You might as well just have every weapon conceivable this time around. You cannot tell me you look like that and you have had any kind of biotic surgery. Also, I just realized there is no real explanation for why certain Reapers look different.
Yeah, basically not.
It seems at first like the excuse kind of makes some sense. Oh, they were trying to make humans or whatever. In Mass Effect 2, that's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, the excuse was for why some of them look different is each one's supposed to be modeled somewhat after different races and everything, after the races of the juice that's inside them.
Yeah, that was the explanation excuse I made for it, but it doesn't actually make sense. The human Reaper seems to be the only attempt to make a Reaper that was different.
Yeah.
We have an old friend.
And you might think that that's me contradicting something because we've already seen Reapers that look different.
Yeah.
The thing is that those different looking Reapers are up for question.
And they're all majorly like, what is it, bipedal? I think it would be because
no,
with how they're all like super squiddy looking.
That wouldn't be bipedal. Bipedal is 2 foot.
Okay, what's the quadrupedal?
Quadrupedal would be 4 feet.
So,
depending on the variant of them, that's what I'm talking about. There seems to be 2 different types of Reapers. There is land Reapers, and then there is space Reapers. Land Reapers seem to either be quadrupedal or possibly sextupedal, or whatever the word would possibly be for 6-legged.
Yeah.
Squidpedal. Don't really know. Sectopedal probably, or something like that.
Probably.
Point is, none of them resemble races that they fought prior. You do not at any point see a Protean one, which we've discussed before as to why the fuck isn't there one.
Which is because of they're the collectors and everything.
But we also know from the Catalyst that makes no sense.
That is true.
You didn't realize that the Catalyst basically just nullifies the whole Keeper. It nullifies the Keepers, the Prothean, well, the Keepers, the Collectors, all that stuff. It kind of nullifies it.
Huh.
I'd also like to point out that they made an excuse that makes no sense for why it is that all collectors look the same. Remember, they said that Protheans were the collectors.
Yeah.
Well, they also stated with Javik that whenever they conquer a new race, they made them all Prothean. He stated that they made them all Prothean because they all went to the same homogenous idea. He never said they went and slaughtered the fuck out of them and just replaced them with Protheans.
Yeah, I would imagine it's like they just became united under the Prothean flag and everything, not
Exactly, which means they would
becoming
look
Prothean.
different.
Primarch Fedorian is dead. His shuttle was shot down.
When we lead into what's going on now, how many different types of husks do you see? Keep in mind, a husk is the term I'm using for these Reaper puppets they make.
Yeah,
The Brutes and the Marauders look to be made from Turian, right?
most
The
likely.
Banshees are made from Asari.
He would have
Mhm.
been an
The
outstanding
husk, the standard husk that we know, is made from human.
Yeah,
The Turian
not to
hierarchy.
mention
all look
the
different, don't they?
cannibals too. I would imagine.
Right. General Corinthus?
Don't really know what the cannibals are. We could say they were human, but they literally never showed up any other fucking point until this game, which makes it very unlikely that they're human.
Yeah,
However, at the moment, contacting them is impossible. The comm tower is out.
But
like
see,
maybe they're
my
their
point here
other
is
one of
that
the
all
other
these
races.
different.
We can't get close enough to repair
My point here, though, is every single one of them that it shows up in this cycle looks different,
Thank you,
Yeah.
Commander. I'll take care of
except the
things in a sec.
collectors.
All right, let's go.
All collectors had the same exact shape. Even that one that Harbinger took over had the same general shape with very little variation from it.
I get what you're meaning. Yeah, it's like I don't, but yeah, it's like
If there was multiple different races other than Prothean at the time, multiple
Which
different
they
species,
stated, yeah.
where the fuck are they?
I guess they got rid of them completely or something.
That also wouldn't be accurate to what the Catalyst stated. See, once more, the Catalyst made it clear that the entire point is to absorb them and create a basically, they're basically trying to go with the idea that they are ascending humanity and all these other species from being this situation. And
So
no,
they would have
they
to
did
be
say
one of
it
them.
wasn't just humans. So they were going to ascend and create a Reaper out of the Asari, the humans, the Turians, so on and so forth.
Basically.
Which, by the way, would automatically nullify why the fuck the human Reaper was even made.
We can't repair it from this panel.
Because the excuse could have possibly been that a human was the only thing to stop a Reaper, thus the
Liara,
point of
see
it,
if
but
we can repair it.
we know that's not true as of this game, and also, if that was the case, then why the fuck were they trying to even go for the other races if humans were such an important figure in that regard?
Let's take them.
I guess they got the first one only because the Reapers call them as the biggest threat or something for some reason.
Doubtful, because they tried to use an even larger force to be able to take on the Asari, if you remember. The Asari are attacked later on. This primarily is because the Reapers are attempting to strengthen themselves as necessary.
Well, I
On top
mean,
of
you could
that,
always
they
think
really-
of the whole thing right there. If like they want to, it's like they see the humanity as a threat of sorts. So they're gonna be like, you know what? Let's make one of them us, so we can use their knowledge to fight the humans as well. Make it easier on us.
Oh, you wouldn't need to. Once again, the knowledge idea. They literally point out the fact that all your knowledge and stuff like that goes into the whole thing. Because they were going to talk you into doing it, remember?
Yeah.
By that logic, they already integrate the knowledge from all these humans into the things anyway. So there is no reason to make it human shaped. There is literally no reason for why it was human shaped, Kit.
That
No
is true.
explanation. In fact, there is actually stuff to explain why it wouldn't have been a human shape.
Yeah, all the reason why it was human shaped, basically, you could say, is just because it's
For
a bit
a
more
cool
shocking of
boss
a boss
fight.
fight. Yeah, it's a bit more shocking of a boss fight.
Go ahead.
I have information from Palavan Command.
That's all it was, basically.
On our way.
Also, keep in mind that they're all supposed to be kind of interconnected, with Harbinger being the one who's basically in quote-unquote control. Actually, the Catalyst is, from what they explained, but still. Yet, they're still stupid enough to look up when people start firing upon them with lasers from the sky.
What have you got?
As your partner said,
That still gets me too. I
right
agree.
now, the hierarchy So many dead or MIA.
I need someone. I don't care who.
It kind of
As long
makes
as they can
no
get us the Turian
sense.
resources we
A
need.
large portion of the stuff just. The worst part is
I'm on
the
it,
Reaper
Shep.
stuff was
We'll
actually
find you the
relatively
timeline.
consistent up until this game. You could make some excuses as to certain things until they just have 30 of the exact same fucking generic design show up and no other
Good to
choices.
see you.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be on Paladin.
I can imagine they didn't, like, the major reason why they're all looking the same for a design template and everything was because they're a design template and everything. You don't want to be making like 50 different ones of like the human one, suddenly Superman flying through space and everything, or
Good to see you in one piece, Garrus.
It would look stupid, yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
not
it
to
would
mention that would
actually
be a
have,
bitch to animate in some of the spots.
Palavan Command
If you
tells
had
At
to
the
if you
same
put 'em in there.
Primarch is General Adrian Victus.
Victus.
At the same time,
His name's crossed my desk.
if you're trying to make a
Hello, Garrus.
point about how this stuff works, that would make more sense. Especially in this aspect. But they literally nullified Mass Effect 2's Reaper threat with the human Reaper shit. Because it makes no sense. There is literally no reason for why it was being made. And again, because they always use the same homogenized shape that they always use, even the ones that jump on the ground use a very similar shape. It's just slightly different, and it could just be a same variant, just modified slightly. It's highly questionable how the fuck they even exist. That at the same time, that is literally the only real different Reaper we see, except for some reason an attempt at making a fucking human Reaper out of
Should
nowhere.
I go back and take a look?
Basically, yeah.
Garrus,
I mean,
you said you were
we,
with Victus this
it's
morning?
like hell. I'm now.
Yeah, but we
I've never really focused on like the one that's on the
Rex's
Rex's planet and everything for the
We're trying
Krogan.
to raise him.
We'll have to take a look at that right there.
Incoming harvester, headed for the
Now we're gonna have to take a look at the Krogan ones when we go over to it to see what that one looks like. See if it's like the tick or the squid
Tell
one.
Primarch Victus will rendezvous here. In
It's
the
gonna
meantime,
be the tick.
take care of whatever
If it's the
Every
tick
one
one,
of
then
them
that,
that's on
yeah,
the
then your
land.
thing holds. Then your theory holds water.
All the ones that walk on land, for some reason, have this very slightly different shape. And if you look at the ones in the area and you look at the ones on land, there is a difference in their look.
Yeah, I
But
mean
they're
this
the
one's got
only
that
real
huge
difference.
ass bit right there and everything.
Adrenaline's better than oxygen.
See that one there? It looks like it. Yeah, it's walking, but if you notice, it has a certain look to it.
Yeah.
When you see the ticks later, they will have a different look. That one there being on the land walking actually comes to question why the fuck the ones that walk have a different look to them.
That's a good question.
Because you have one walking right back there.
Yeah. And
It's also significantly larger.
no
You
kidding.
can literally look at this and look at one of the later ones. The size is not even questionably different. It's not even under question whether or not that one is larger.
Yeah, I mean that one's
It
a
almost
fucking
makes it seem-
monster.
It almost makes it seem as though the ones that you fight that are on land aren't actually Reapers.
They're mini reapers.
And the question, well, if they're not, it actually leads to a question on that: is if they're not actually Reapers, then what the fuck are they in this case? I understand Reaper, blah blah blah, but everything in this case they can label as part of the Reaper faction. But I'm
Yeah.
talking like literally, what are they? Are they just a pawn? Are they a lesser being of the Reapers, etc.?
Hell, I bet the thing for like this one right here, the size is differed because of the amount of people that need to go into it.
Well, that's what I say. The size of the people.
So, like,
that's what I was just saying. Like the size of the group and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, their shape is also different. If you go back and look, remember where it is that the laser is that on the ticks. You can
Yeah.
look at that one's face. Where is it?
Right around there and everything.
Yeah,
Like you can't
but the
see it
laser's
because
coming
it's
from
turned
underneath
at
it.
the moment. Yeah.
It was looking at you a moment ago. There was no plating for it.
Yeah.
There was no plating for it to separate and open up. Its laser is actually underneath it. Technically, it should not have been able to make that shot it just made.
Go ahead.
Still trying to raise the Primarch, but we've got trouble back here at the main barricade. If the Reapers breach it, we're done.
On my way.
Time to use the barricade.
Hell's is so much lower on this difficulty.
Yeah.
So which difficulty is this? Adventure or narration, or did you choose normal?
I didn't really look at it. If it's anything, it should be normal.
Then it's still on narration.
Casual. So
Oh,
it's
casual.
it's
Well,
still it's
combat
basically
difficulty,
normal. Yeah, it's basically normal. I mean, basically
well, it's
easy.
easy.
Easy. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
I can switch it up to normal later on.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
But yeah.
really matter. You did beat the games on Insanity.
Yeah.
You can play it on fucking baby mode after that. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to switch it up to normal at least for that final trophy and everything. But yeah.
I mean, that's basically like going through. That's like making it through what's the word? Damn it! I had it just a moment ago.
The train of thought has derailed at the station. Oh God, it's horrible. There's bodies everywhere.
It's like jumping onto the islands of Iwo Jima and stuff like that, and having to go through that shit, and then afterwards, you just decide, oh, I just want to go. Well, beaches in Normandy. That's it. That's like going. That's like having to fight your way through the beaches of Normandy. Then right afterwards, you decide, I'm just gonna storm a regular beach. How about Hawaii? People might say you're being a bit of a pussy at the time, but you literally stormed the beaches of Normandy. I think you can deal with a little bit less for a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding.
Holy hell! What is that thing? Brace yourself!
So terrifying.
Oh no, what'll I ever do?
It'll be impossible to kill it. There's no way that thing can die. It's even lamer.
Look, my
Then
shield's
again,
recovering faster than he can hit me. I understand it's because of my mode, but still, that's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
That's funny. I love that.
Still can't get a stable comm link.
Okay, I'm going on foot. Shepherd out.
Remember when you said this game was difficult on like normal difficulty? And you weren't sure how you were gonna beat it through the hardest?
Yeah.
How far?
The fuck,
What
Gary?
the fuck is that walk?
Super sideways run.
You're supersonic racing. So did you decide to start recording while you stream?
Yeah. It's no, it's the stream is solid today.
Okay.
If it looks like it is,
Still have family there?
I will and everything.
He does it anytime you sprint.
3 million lost the first day.
If he's not pointing forward, he does that stupid side
Look around.
side
Should
run.
give you some idea.
You're putting up a good
And you're
fight.
afraid, yeah.
For now. But how long does it take before the fight's kicked out? If they'd only listen to your warnings about the Reapers.
That is such a stupid looking walk.
I'm low back here.
Did I miss some?
Shit, I hate those things. And New York is crawling with the creepy bastards? I never should have left Earth.
It's gonna be bad all over.
Leaving the fight just pisses me off.
But you're here asking Victus to do the same thing. Leave the fight to make nice in some boardroom.
This summit is the only chance we've got. None of us is beating the Reapers alone.
Tuesday. James technically isn't here to ask him. You are.
Yeah.
So James is completely in the right to be complaining over that. He's not the one who's here to actually do that. He's just here to help fight.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Basically, huh? Okay.
Commander, how many troops in that crash? 50? 75?
Not sure.
3.
Sounds right.
You heard him. You heard him. Garrett's made it very clear. Not sure is the correct answer.
So, Commander, you really think this summit will work? I mean, Asari? Solarians? Where's the Krogan and Batarians? Where's the...
Well, the Batarians are glassed already because.
The Reapers arrived. What's left of them? And the Krogan have never forgiven us for the genophage.
Right. Turians sterilized them.
Solarians
Again, we already know this. Oh, I just realized.
so they won't be
Mass Effect 2 actually makes allusions to the stillborning too. Trying to remember the exact situation it was in, but yeah, the coddling. If you remember, when you went to get Grunt and such, they were
Yeah,
discussing how they coddled the newborns, stuff like that, made them weak
yeah,
because of the fact that the fear of not being able to get more and how important it was to keep them alive. Thing is, if you remember, I explained to you that if it's just sterility and stuff like that, they could just go to the bone zone more often.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not considered the case. And in fact, it kind of furthers the idea that they must have been having actual stillborn issues because, while I did state on that exact situation too, they could just keep trying until they get children, it would cause more of a psychological impact if you have dead children repeatedly over and fucking over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would make it make sense that if you have a child who's born not dead, you're gonna try and treat them very special compared to just, having sex until you guarantee a child is born.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I'm pretty sure in a society that's supposed to be testosterone infused like the Krogans, the idea of constant sex is not going to be a deterrent for those guys. People don't realize testosterone handles that stuff pretty fucking well.
Yeah.
They'd be pretty active. Hey, did that thing just attack one of the marauders?
I don't know what happened.
Huh. Can't hurt me at my weakest. You really should have bitch slapped it.
Shit.
Turn up the heat.
I meant when it was glowing hell.
I know. Ow. It killed me!
It has this. We've learned something new, Kit.
It has a stat feature. How funny is that we learned it on easy mode and not on
easy.
Not on intensity? How funny is that?
What's funnier about it, if you ask me, is the fact that we went that entire point through intensity and insanity, and that has never been seen.
Yeah.
And once again, proving my point on the difficulty thing, you decided to toy around with it and got fucked.
That's funny.
But see, my point is, even though Morden and others try and claim it's just sterility after Mass Effect 2, and in Mass Effect 2, early on, they literally allude to the fact that it is not, in fact, just sterility.
Yeah.
The fact that Grunt is being made, and the fact that they're concerned about the coddling and stuff like that, goes in to show that it is, in fact, not just a hard time to get the children to be. It is not simply a case of making it difficult to have birth rates. It's genuinely things come out dead.
Basically. That's still funny.
Which, by the way, yeah, the sterility thing also wouldn't explain why their Krogan homeworld got destroyed like it was. If you remember, they talk about the stuff. The genophage caused them to cause problems on their homeworld that led to nuking of the place.
No, that was before that. That was before it.
No. Morden even talked about that. He pointed out the fact that they simply gave them a virus. It was the Krogan's instability that caused them to nuke themselves.
I mean, I could have sworn it was the. Yeah, it wasn't that. But...
That little tidbit Morden
General
said
Vegas.
about it was the Krogan's own fault they nuked themselves, and that they
I'm
simply
Commander
administered a
Shepard of the
virus, that means that the nuking happened after the fact.
Huh.
I can't wait to find out what brings you out here. Vicarian, where did you go?
Heavy Reaper unit on the right flank. I believe your exact words were, "Get that thing the hell off my men."
Appreciated.
General, you're needed off planet. I've come to get you.
It will take something beyond important for me to leave my men or my Turian brothers and sisters in their fight.
Fedorian was killed. You're the new Primarch.
You're needed immediately to chair a summit and represent your people in the fight against the Reapers.
I'm Primarch of Palaven, negotiating for the Turian hierarchy.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a little trippy being that.
I've spent my whole life in the military. I'm no diplomat. I hate diplomats.
Perfect. Get your ass on the
Whoa,
ship.
Resident.
Hey, exactly.
At a time like this, we need leaders who've been through that hell.
I like that. You're right.
And honestly, uniting these races may take as much strength as facing the Reapers. See this devastation, Primarch? Double that for Earth. I need an alliance. I need the Turian fleet.
Give me a moment to say goodbye to my men.
Without him down here, there's a good chance we lose this move.
Without him up there's a good chance we lose everything.
Look at that. And they want my opinion
Now,
on how to stop it?
than you were as the fucking
Failed
renegade.
sick officer, vigilante, and I'm their expert advisor? Think you can win this thing, Shepard? Yeah.
Why do I look like I got a hickey under my neck right
Sure as
there?
hell gonna give it my best shot.
I'm damn sure nobody
It's called an
else
Adam's
will.
apple.
It don't look like an Adam apple. It looks more like a hickey.
Welcome aboard.
At
It's still
certain
an
angle.
Adam's
Yeah,
apple.
I can tell it is, but yeah. Just the way it looks like more like a
One thing.
bruise.
Commander, I appreciate your need for our fleets, but I can't spare them. Not while my world is burning. But if the pressure could be taken off Palaven,
That's a pretty tall order.
we need the Krogan. I can't see us winning this thing without them. Get them to help us, and then we can help you.
The Krogan.
Looks like your summit just got a lot more interesting.
I mean, you would figure you would have already been going for every other race and everything. Especially with the Krogan, fuck.
I apologize for being so frank,
You know,
Commander, but
actually
your plans
kind of
look
leads to
insane
another
here.
problem.
We
Hmm.
know. We've been there before.
If the Krogan
But
is all that the
Let
Turians
me-
need to be able to
I'm not
beat
the
back
only
the
one that feels
Reapers
this
off
way.
Palaven,
The
like
Salarian
they're
Galactrons
implying,
is livid.
then that would
Civilizations are
mean
hundreds of
that
years old.
when you get Krogan,
Time to
Asari, Quarian,
Perhaps.
Solarian,
Still, we can't help
and
but feel
humans
that
working
something's
together,
away
I'm
from
sure I
their
missed someone in there,
tone.
but
We
all
can
those
avoid
groups
having
working
this
together,
focus.
Geth as well,
We must focus
then
our attention on
there's
the
no
arrival of the
way that
Reapers.
Earth would actually fall.
So no, the Asari will
That
not
is true.
be at your summit.
Our alliance would be
The
stronger with
Crucible
Krogan.
is not necessary.
You need
If
them. We
just
all
the
need
Turian and the Krogan working together is enough to hold Palaven,
And goodbye.
By what
Then
he
that would
says,
mean-
yeah.
then that would basically mean it's impossible for the Reapers to actually win.
Yeah.
Commander, have you retrieved the Primarch for your summit?
Yes, sir. But the Asari are staying on the
It's
side.
like, I mean, he does say it's more just to help lessen it, but still.
The Salarians.
Even with
Still means they'd
everybody,
be
yeah,
beating
that
them
would
back.
mean,
Very optimistic.
with everybody,
expect
that
the
would
Krogan
mean,
to be
yeah.
joining us too.
I see. Well, then you've got your hands full, Commander.
The excuse with like the Krogan planet, no one seems to be attacking the Krogan planet
Nothing
for
more, sir.
some fucking reason.
Posted.
Yeah, not until
There's
you go
one
to
Reaper,
visit it and
basically.
everything.
There's basically only one Reaper there, and it's questionable if that's actually a fucking Reaper at this point, as we discussed.
Yeah.
Commander, thank you for allowing me the use of your ship. And for
Keep in
going
mind
along
that
with
the
this.
moon on Palaven that we just saw, literally, there was more than 3 of those full-fledged Reapers just fucking walking around zapping
Sounds
shit.
right, Garrus. I'm sorry to say the Asari Councilor won't be
Well,
joining
maybe the
us.
Krogans are so badass
Bad blood,
that,
Krogan.
yeah, I can't say that with a fucking straight thing.
The
They are not Argonians.
I know.
Blood. If we don't try.
They ain't just. They aren't fucking standing there with weapons waiting for the Oblivion Gate to open so they can gain free real estate in the fucking dead realms.
I
Kit.
still love that. I still love that. That's so funny.
I understand this is a difficult time for you, Primarch, but Earth can't survive without reinforcements.
Honestly, it's really funny because if you keep in mind certain historical things, that situation with Argonians is actually hilariously historically accurate to some
How is
things.
it being the Primarch?
There's the Charge of the Deadmen, if you remember, and we also have the, I think it was the Norwegian meth addict. I mean, not meth addict, but meth head.
If I'm going to die,
Um,
I want to be with my men.
there was a situation in World War II, I think it was, where Russia tried to invade one of the smaller nations in the area,
Leaving Earth
Uh-huh.
to save it.
and it was in
One of the
wintertime.
hardest things I've ever
Oh,
done.
I
Yeah, it
think I
turns out
remember
Russia
this.
ain't too good with winter.
Yeah.
Who thought that?
Shit.
No, really, who would have thought Russia would lose in wintertime?
Now what? Huh?
To a smaller nation. Well, one of the medics on one of the teams that got attacked by the Russians, he was left the only one alive. And I think it was 15 days later, he showed up at one of their camps, basically nude, squigged completely out of his fucking brain on meth and such like that. And he had apparently taken out multiple groupings of Russian soldiers on his way there, and he had just he basically admitted that when he was alone, he just decided, well, he'd go out with a bang and took all the fucking drugs.
Brings even more meaning to why you should take them in Fallout, right?
Yeah, but the reason that's an important tale involving the Argonians is because the Hist sap. It's a drug that the Argonians take. It's the drug they took that made them strong enough to take on everything during the Oblivion Gate crisis. That being the case, yeah, it's actually hilariously historically accurate. Because they basically said, we're going to be killed anyway, let's do all the drugs.
Like, we're going against the God Army, we might as fucking well just do it and give everything we can,
What's that
right?
sound?
Fire extinguisher,
Yeah.
Commander. Could be an electrical fire or something.
I like that how they got air masks and we don't get one. Like, give me your fucking air mask.
Going in.
Half the characters in this game don't wear a mask in the middle
I
of
know.
space, Kit.
I know, I love that too.
And also, that's... I hate to say it, but I know we want to make everything sci-fi. That is one of the dumbest looking shapes you could choose for a fucking fire sprayer. Fire sprayer. Fuck, I can't remember the words.
Extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher, yeah.
Yeah.
The reason we use the design we do now is because it's functionally utilized. That one literally gives less functionality than a modern one.
Yeah.
Edie?
Yes,
You're in Dr. Eva's body.
not all of me, but I have control of it. It was not a seamless transition.
See, not all of it, but I have control of it.
Yeah.
She's controlling it wirelessly. So if anything happens to the connection from the computer, well, from the ship to her body, she should shut down.
Yeah.
And we know later on there was a section in which the bodies should have been shut off and weren't.
Confrontation. Fortunately, I was able to gain root access and repurpose it as I saw fit. During this process, it struggled. Thus the fire.
Edie, you need to alert us about incidents like this. You shouldn't have done this alone.
Also, keep in mind, Eva was an upgraded AI utilizing the same data that made Edie, yet magically Edie was the superior mind.
Of course.
So if you're in there, are you still in the ship?
I exist primarily within the ship. For optimal control, this unit should remain within Normandy's broadcast or tight beam range.
See, she even warns you that if there's a cutoff with it, it would fail.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what mission it is, so we can bring her with just to see.
You mean you could come with
Well,
us?
there was the Citadel one that also had the error issue with the connections, but I'm pretty sure later on there was actually a connection that stopped you from being able to contact Normandy anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any more surprises.
Right. I think that was it right there, actually.
Run whatever tests you can. Then we can talk about using it in combat situations.
One moment. I am running trials.
Was this well? There was also in the Citadel DLC. They specifically stated that they shut down the stuff, and yet magically, when a jammer was broke, she just started it back up, and everything else did too.
Yeah.
Also, how little sleep have you been getting?
An excellent
Huh.
point. I will
Look
take
at your
to the
face.
brain.
I don't remember you
Joker
looking that
also
fucking
wants to see it.
dead inside.
On that we can agree.
I'm not sure you look as dead inside now as you did a moment ago. You look like you hadn't slept in a fucking week. Tell you what, this ugly shepherd face is the gift that keeps giving. They cannot get the lighting right to make that face look good.
I know, right?
I can only imagine what it was like down on that moon.
Yeah, I can see the black circles around the eyes.
Edie is a huge
That's not even as bad as it was a moment ago.
She told me about her plan to obtain a body. I'd have volunteered to help.
It is weird how that face can have so many different looks on it at all times.
I'd have preferred a
You did a
complete
genius
test
job with that
hard
face, Kit.
restart of half our systems.
It's like, thank you.
I was just waiting for the awkward pause if I tried to copy my own.
While scanning a line channel.
I know. It's like, thank you. I copied
Requesting
myself.
help. The reformation program hit them.
What can we do?
I mean, I at least tried to go for something close to myself, I figure.
Normally, I'd say we don't need to do anything. But something
I'm pretty sure you don't simultaneously look tired, angry, happy, sad, and bored at the same time, and like your eyebrows are trying to become a unibrow.
I don't know. I mean, I mean, some people at work say that sometimes. For at least I look pissed off sometimes. When I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm just bored.
You're partially German, that's just to be expected.
Even though none of my parents are. I was just born over there, that's it.
Ah, still makes you a sauerkraut.
They're over from Michigan, both of them.
Thank you, Commander.
Like I said, still a sauerkraut. If I think I have more German in me than you do.
And we'll do the DLCs once we have Tally, of course, because need the missions.
Well, I'd presume you'd wait until you get Tally and then do it. That way you can have Tally involved.
Yeah.
On a bright side, you don't have to bring the flashlight now.
Yeah.
You have Lash.
Yeah. Lash, the all-powerfulness. And yeah, I got it this time and everything too, still. I don't know why, I don't know if it was unlocked because I did it in the other file or or it was
Makes
always
sense.
unlocked.
I'm wondering if it might have just been always unlocked or it just wasn't available till a certain point in the storyline because of the character you chose.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Garrus. Because I don't
Keep in
need
mind,
her.
technically you don't need to bring James either. You're not going to be dying that much.
I know, but I wanted to.
Yeah. James became MVP after the Insanity run.
He did, didn't he?
And there's the folks who answered the distress call. Cerberus cruiser. At least a dozen fighters on blockade duty.
If he shows up in Mass Effect 4 like 600 years later, they just need to make it he headbutted death when it came for him.
Let's hear it.
SSB Normandy. This is Kaylee Sanders, director of Grissom Academy. We need immediate assistance. Cerberus is
And I think I remember seeing something saying like they're gonna bring
This is Commander Shepard.
something from Andromeda and everything in for it.
Any alternatives?
Well, eventually
if I
we'll get
know?
to Andromeda. You
Yeah.
wanted to do that after this.
All right.
Yep.
We'll come in by shuttle and get your students out of there.
What if I know though how they're gonna do it because it's apparently a 300-year mission thing to there and everything, and they put themselves all into spaces, into stasis.
Yeah, but again, they've already seen that you have a wrinkly Liara. Liara in this game is about 100 years old. I don't think her matriarch was really that wrinkly either in Mass Effect 1. This would kind of imply that she's close to possibly like I'd say, just off guessing, because I'm not exactly sure when they start to look
I think
old,
she's about like
I'd
100 right now and everything.
Yeah, I understand that. It's just so it looks useful. I would say that with how it's kind of implied and the details, I'd say she's possibly at least 700 in the trailer scene for Mass Effect 4.
Probably, I would say so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That would be plenty of time for the mission to have had some results and people to get sent back, kind of thing.
I guess, but then that's like, why would you even want to? You got sent straight out there. 300 years, then you're gonna come back another 300 years? Like, everybody you knew is long dead. Hell, your kids have been long dead.
It's an important tidbit to actually check in on that kind of thing since they're on an expedition, meaning they're going to have to make regular check-ins here and there, which for a 300-year trip is going to be kind of a task and a half.
Sanders,
yeah.
Clear. It's me.
Commander, thank you. Admiral Anderson always said you were the best. And with Cerberus coming for my students, I need the best.
How many of you are there?
Fewer than 20. Most were sent home when word of the Reaper invasion spread. But a few volunteered to stay. Some are prototyping tech for the Alliance. Others are biotics. They've been training for military operations, working together as biotic artillery.
A few months knocking over practice dummies can't prepare your students for war.
Agreed, but the Alliance needs every resource it can get. And our students are unique resources. They wanted to help. How could we say no with the entire galaxy falling apart? Hang on. I've been trying to get communications working.
This is Froberg. There are students trapped in Orion Hall. Cerberus has us boxed in. They're closing fast.
Damn it.
Orion Hall?
Back out the door and down the hallway. I can get the door open.
I'll bring them back here and
I was like, I like that how she actually had to say back out the door. I'm like, gee, really? I mean, I'm sure there's a hallway in here, or I can make one.
Yeah, but she probably also thinks she's smarter than you.
Yeah. It's like, hey guys, over here.
He's screaming like that. I understand he's being pulled away, but he's literally just being dragged by his foot. He's not exactly being fucking beat the fuck out of or anything like that.
Yeah, it's like, hell, it's like, why aren't you using your powers and everything like this one is?
There is an argument there. The woman said that some people volunteered to stay back to work on Alliance tech projects, and other ones were biotics.
Aha, so he's probably a techie.
Yeah.
Aha.
But it still doesn't explain why he's just, like, screaming on the ground like that.
There may be more nearby. Play dead until it's safe, then get to Kaylee Sanders in security.
Okay, but my sister Sean is out here somewhere too.
Hey, on the bright side, you get to test different weapons this time around.
That's true.
Oh no, attacking from both sides. What do I do? Imagine
I'm gonna beat the living crap out of you.
Imagine how dumb that would seem to you if you were some of these Cerberus enemies and you're just standing there. Shepard jumps in front of your bullets and you start shooting him from both sides and he's just like, oh no, what do I do? While he's getting fucking riddled with bullets. He never flinches like he's actually taking damage. He just freaks out like he can't figure out what he's supposed to do. I'd start wondering if he might have gotten his hands on some hologram tech.
Let's see, is there anything else in the other hallway?
On a bright side, I'm pretty sure we can safely say that James basically unkillable this time around. You know, except to possibly a Cerberus turret, a Banshee,
even then, it's
or
probably
a
not
fucking
even
Reaper.
that much.
Sean, can you hear me? I saved your brother. He's with Kaylee Sanders at security. Can you get to her?
Yeah. I just need to rest for a minute. Thank you.
Yeah, and also in case you're wondering about that, the power armor I have on right there, that's just that's one of my skills, and everything apparently stays active.
Yeah, the tech tree or whatever you chose gets a special type of armor that makes them more durable.
Yeah.
See, another good reason I screwed you over on insanity difficulty. You could have otherwise had defensive benefits.
Yeah, well, that really could have helped out.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least you got to finish the game a lot different than you expected to.
Exactly.
Yeah, that did not fit through that doorway.
Yeah.
Everyone get down! This thing's out of your league! Shepard, keep it off us!
Students are still civilians. We need to keep the heat on.
Shepard, keep it off us. Shepard starts circling column. Hey, I hear glass shattering. You're not gonna... yeah, you just want to bitch slap everything to death now, don't you?
Yes. I want to see if I can kill it. See if it's if they get a special animation too.
I don't think they will, because I think your shield has to go down fully before that animation happens.
Oh.
In this case, I think you're... Nope.
Hey, they can kill me too. They could literally crack my back.
Hey, look, you're Jesus. Okay,
I am called the Shepherd.
Oh damn, that's a fucking pun on dad levels. But no, the way you fell, you look almost like that whole I am Jesus me. But that aside though, yeah, apparently you can be fucking instant killed by them. I wonder what else has instant kills that we could not have seen because we were actually being competent.
Yeah, the only time we were non-comp, like the only time right there that we're not incompetent and everything, or whatever the word would be, is more when we're playing on fucking easy mode.
Competent.
Yeah.
In basically a situation of the only time you're incompetent enough to die to it is on easy mode.
Exactly. That's funny.
Cerberus isn't gonna lie down out of pity like that girl you took to prom. Grab juice and an energy bar. We move in 5.
Fuck, I don't even think she needs that. Yeah, I don't even think she needs that right there for that. That kind of a drop. That's barely a drop, it looked like.
Anything I haven't told myself, Jack.
Actually, she would. Otherwise, she'd have to roll.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of glass, so yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Fuck it, the glass ain't that fucking important. By this point in here, they most likely would be using break-resistant glass, which means it shatters more likely than not. Just shatters into the small particles, which honestly are not nearly as bad as the standard big-sized glass. Anyone who's ever had to walk through a house after a glass shattered can tell you that much.
Yeah, I would imagine they would have to have something like use that and everything, because if someone's biotic powers went off right there, you don't want millions of daggers going at somebody. Instead, when you can just have a bit of diamond dust going at them.
Couldn't destroy wet tissue paper.
Cortez to extraction team. The Cerberus cruiser's coming back.
How long have we got?
2 minutes tops, Commander. After that, there's no way we'll get past them.
But yeah, chances are she didn't do the power to help like save herself from damage from the drop. It was probably just a stabilizer, so she didn't have to roll when she hit.
Most likely. That and probably also a little show off.
Well, obviously, she's got her team right there.
Of course.
Can you disable the Cerberus security override? It's routed through Orion Hall, so it should be nearby.
How does camera access get us off this station?
We need to reach the Cerberus shuttles. The cruiser won't auto-target friendly ships.
You should have access now.
I still love that. I leveled up because I touched a computer.
Cerberus has sealed the doors. You'll need to disable the magnetic lock.
That's pretty standard, honestly, for RPG games.
I know.
There's no real difference in tabletops either, if you really think about it.
Hey, let me know when we've got a new way off this station.
Stay close.
Good.
You really think we're getting out of here?
Of course. Got it.
You should be able to force the door open now. I'll get to the shuttles ahead of you and get a pair ready to fly.
Work with Commander Shepard? That's pretty badass.
Yeah, wonder why she never mentioned it.
So why isn't the woman with biotics opening that fucking gate?
Because I'm a gentleman.
Those guys from above.
I like it. Keeps them safer too.
Just time your shots and stay safe.
All right, I didn't bust my ass training you so you could die now. Keep low, pick your targets.
Students of Grissom Academy, the station is sealed. The Alliance soldiers cannot save you. All they can do is get you killed. Surrender peacefully and you won't be harmed.
Asshole.
Damn it, they're messaging everyone.
Technically, in the current scenario, that actually wouldn't be a lie because they're taking them to Sanctuary.
True.
You've already held your own against
Once they're in Sanctuary, they'll be harmed.
Yeah.
But not until then.
Basically.
Come on, Rodriguez. They're only asking nicely because you scared them in that last fight. So take your balls out of your purse and kick some ass.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's a bit rude, Jack. She doesn't have balls. Hey kid, do you have a certain ability to take over robots?
Not in this
Sabotage,
one.
possibly?
Not no more.
Dang, now would be the perfect time for that. Hey look, Lash is going to be useful.
Gimme.
Catharsis time, huh?
Oh yes.
Ready for action?
Yoink. So the question I have is, did you just not ever use it on with Arya, or does her Lash work differently?
I don't know. I don't think maybe I didn't focus properly. I didn't hit enemies with it properly or something. I have no idea what happened.
Oh well. The important part is it works.
Exactly. It's so nice now. It's like, I'm so happy. Yoink. I can still eat through my shield shit.
This really is night and day by comparison, difficulty-wise. So I'll give him that. Compared to this mode, Insanity was definitely difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty night and day.
Admittedly, though, the just up its health and damage type of difficulty is always annoying. There is a certain point in which you can just kind of say, what's the point on playing on hard mode when everything is just going to be slightly more bullet spongy. I think that's something I kind of liked about Battlefield 4's single player with their campaign. The difficulty actually increased the accuracy of enemies and not just their damage. In fact, they kind of did the exact same amount of damage. It was just that they were faster, more accurate, and more aware. Like grenades coming at you kind of aware.
Yeah. It's like most I can guess why I failed with Arya to see and everything is I didn't either use it on a shield or something maybe.
Possible, though I tried to get you to, and you specifically defended that you had used every one of her powers on a shield.
I mean, because I could have sworn I did, but yeah. Maybe I missed by accident or something and I thought I hit.
And I think Lash was one of her powers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Game, make sure to upgrade their weapons. James with an LMG would have been very useful earlier on.
God. When I get that weapon, I'm going to have to give it to him, just because.
You're probably going to be using it too.
Hell, I'm going to have to use it myself, yeah. Fucking knock him out. Oh, that one's still alive.
Okay, so, in actuality, that device there, that shield device, was a Cerberus device that they seem to have repurposed to be able to use as their shields. That's actually pretty smart, because that's the same shielding devices you see all over the place.
That's true.
Then again, I guess it's not a Cerberus-made design, just something you can buy.
The square root of 906.01 equals
30.1.
Hello, Commander Shepard.
David, you know him?
Yes. He rescued me from
And yeah, if you don't give them to him, that's him and everything for the Geth one.
You did a great job keeping yourself safe. The biotic students are up there. Stay close. They'll get you out of here.
Okay. Thanks.
He looks better.
I remember you. Normandy crew. Sorry.
It was never your fault.
Has Grissom Academy been all right?
Yes. I've been counting.
Anything in particular?
The number of days you lengthened my life. The security office. I hacked the lock. Guns. Lots of guns. Goodbye.
Well, now I feel bad for you just leaving him locked up in the Renegade one. He gave you guns!
Well,
wait, why'd that give you Renegade points too?
I don't know. A gun.
Pretty sure it's the weapon you're using.
It is.
It is. It's literally
just
the
leveled
weapon
it
you're
up.
using.
It just leveled it up. That's what it does when you get by another one. It gives it another level.
Still though, that was such a cheap out.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it gives you a gun in the sniping mod.
Well, he did still lead to you getting guns. Now I feel bad. That was one more gun you could have had on Renegade. That you wouldn't have used.
Like schematics for amp interfaces. Not as good as what we already have, but still worth a look.
And it's like, yay, at this time. I like how my thing is already pre-cracked.
Yeah. Which heavily implies that, yes, you can take them over. It also means that they were kind of lazy in this regard and didn't bother to fix that. But they also can't fucking hurt you in this thing, basically.
No. I am
insanity,
gone now.
They barely even dropped it.
I know.
It's like you're wearing James as a skin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
Did it just... Oh, you pressed the button to
Yeah.
see him, I guess.
Yeah, I pressed it to take a look-see.
Yeah, not gonna... A little bit telling that Cerberus will just run at you in a group when you're in a mech like that.
Not exactly smart.
But then again, if AI was actually smart and as confident as real people were, people would really, really hate playing against AI. It kind of makes me interested to see what's going to end up happening with the AI in Battlefield 2042. Is there's been hints that they're going to be using machine learning, which means they'll learn to be more human over time.
Oh, goody. That'll be interesting. How many people play that game? Will be playing that game? I give it about a week before the AI becomes super smart and able to just.
You say that, but what I'm already expecting the AI will learn is that the most efficient method is to stand way outside of what people can see and just snipe at long distances. How hilarious would it actually be if the one fucking thing everyone complains about happening in the Battlefield series happens with the AI? Like even the AI is like, this is actually the most efficient way to play.
That's one of us.
And now it's nuked.
Yep.
Imagine how frustrating the AI could actually end up being in that regard. One of the most annoying things in Battlefield 4 is just the fact of when you're fighting people in tanks and they take one rocket and they just fucking run till they're way out of area where you cannot touch them, heal up, and come back and do the same thing again. Just wait until the AI's doing that shit.
Yeah.
So, Kit, why can't you take the mech out of here? Can't they walk through those doors? We literally saw one walk through.
Yeah.
Kaylee, how's it coming?
Admittedly, that would have been a cool thing if you actually could have walked through those really fucking slowly with it.
GTA, motherfucker.
It's almost like she tried to surrender. Yeah, see right there, she'd be dead if they had the standard glass.
Yeah. Would have been shredded.
Then again, so would the soldiers.
Joker, we flew out on a Cerberus shuttle. Watch your fire.
Right, I've got you on sensors. Should just be a minute.
It's like, our shuttle now.
We'd have never gotten off that station if you hadn't come.
Forget that. We kicked some ass. Next place we dock, you're all getting inked. My treat. What do you guys want? Ascension Project logo? Glowing fist? Maybe a unicorn for Rodriguez? Screw you, ma'am!
I can't believe we got them out alive. I was going to suggest that they stick to support roles. But perhaps they're ready after all.
They're definitely ready. But the Alliance needs them in a support role.
What? We trained for artillery strikes.
We don't need another artillery unit. We need stronger barriers for our frontline squads.
This is bullshit! Hey, if that's where they need us, that's where we go.
This is bullshit. We'll be right in the middle of the action.
Commander, we got a visual on you now. Preparing to
Technically, they wouldn't be.
More or less, is right? Though?
Well, they kind of make it seem like it. They need more barrier units for shields. They say that, but for the front lines. But at the same time, chances are they wouldn't be able to do as much of that.
Professionalism we need from our teachers.
What, does she have a swear jar or something? Because I bet if we empty that thing, we can afford another cruiser.
Cover your ears, kids. Hey, Joker.
was like, I would have liked to have heard that just to hear how colorful she could get.
Shepard, damned if you aren't a
Yeah,
Cyphosauri.
that was the joke. Yeah,
Good
they
to
don't
I know.
actually want to think of creative ways to do that.
I know.
Reinstated you, but that doesn't give you permission to go all formal on me.
Then I'm glad you managed to keep your ass alive, Anderson.
That's more like it. Looks like you didn't waste any time getting to work. I can only imagine what would have happened to those kids if they'd fallen into Cerberus' hands.
They're definitely eager to help.
These students are some of the best humanity has to offer, and we're throwing them into battle. God damn it, I hate this war.
Take care of yourself, Admiral.
Same to you.
You know, I just realized it's kind of more insulting about the Morinth situation.
Commander, Admiral Hackett's available on VidCom.
Okay, I guess that's a no.
What? It's like, what is more insulting?
Think about where the Banshees seem to have come from. They don't seem to just be something that comes from Asari. They came specifically from the Asari that were Ardat Yakshi.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
But the thing is, they also seem to have been from the colony of Ardat Yakshi. The colony that exists specifically for Ardat Yakshi to hide from things and basically be a commune and like basically a nunnery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could have said she went there and everything to visit her sister, and everything maybe or something.
So what it kind of implies is that Morinth went to this location for the Ardat Yakshi almost like she was reformed.
Either that or...
Why would she have been there at just the right time, and why the fuck would she have just happened to stay there long enough? If that was going on, chances are she would have fucking skedaddled, wouldn't she?
Maybe that was the thing right there, being like, the reason why you'll be like, oh, you'll never see me again. Because the place is basically supposed to be hidden for everybody.
That's what makes it actually more insulting when you think about it, because essentially her redemption story is her being turned into a creature that kills you.
That is true.
Plus, it kind of leads to a question of whether or not it's a good idea to kill her or it's a good idea to kill Samara. Admittedly, that is actually a good conundrum from Mass Effect 2 to actually question.
I mean, we'll see we'll see her Samara on the. I mean, more. I think it is, yeah. It's like when we go to their place and everything, because she's supposed to be there.
I understand that.
Rex. And I'm not
but the point still remains. Samara shows up, and you actually see them. You don't really hear about Ardat Yakshi being chosen anywhere else, and most seem to be going there. That seems to be a relatively large location, and Morinth later shows up as as one of these Banshees.
Yeah.
That kind of heavily implies that she was there.
Basically, yeah. Like she either went there of her own free will for it and everything, because
chances are she went there of her own free will, just off the simple fact of it.
Yeah.
The message sent to you and the fact that she said she won't be seeing you again. Keep in mind that Ardat Yakshi basically go there and self-quarantine, you could say.
Yeah.
So the likelihood is, when she says that, she specifically meant that, which means in the Renegade ending, you actually technically redeem Samara's daughter.
Basically, yeah. I mean, true, she
and
kills
then
her
she
mother,
gets turned
but
into a
yeah.
fucking enemy.
Sure, she kills her mother, but yeah.
Yeah, but it throws into question how much of what Samara says can actually be trusted, since apparently one person trusting Morinth is all it took.
That's true.
So the Galatress here sent in a team to clean up the whole mess and to take them prisoner.
Where did you get this? It could be a fabrication.
Don't insult me. Those are my people. They're immune to the genophage, and you're going to give them back.
And also, that question really is never answered.
Benefit my people.
Huh.
How did he actually get that footage? Did they really just allow some fucking Krogans to walk around their Solarian
Well,
facilities?
that was supposed to be Morton and everything.
What's it gonna be?
The camera guy is supposed to be Morton and everything, taking the pictures.
But then we also have later situation too, by the way. He somehow has video of you talking with the Dalatras aboard your ship after Morton's death.
Oh, I didn't mean to push that shit. I'm reflex.
Oh well.
Will be nothing compared to what happens if the Reapers win.
Let's get the female.
That face has so many reactions.
This will take time.
You looked more constipated, like you were just slightly annoyed. I was on my way to the restroom, you fuck.
We're going.
I won't forget this, Commander. A bully has few friends when he needs them most.
I was just expecting another renegade option when he started that, where you just walk back again.
Yep.
I won't forget this, Commander. You just walk back a second time. What was that?
It's like nothing.
I still don't like that one. It's a burst rifle.
Yeah, more right now, just trying out everything.
But whenever burst fire gets involved, I always hate it. It's a personal hatred. Burst fire is for people who can't figure out trigger discipline.
Yeah. Lift grenade. That sounds kind of interesting.
Lob this grenade into a group of enemies and send them flying. That just sounds like a standard grenade to me.
This is the Solarian homeworld we're headed to. They aren't used to seeing Krogan here, so let's keep it simple. We land, get the females, and leave before anyone changes their mind.
I still don't trust a word they say.
Let diplomacy play out, Rex. You'll get what you want.
These females are the best and probably last hope for my people.
We'll bring them.
Gee, I can't wait for him to still not trust you, even though you've literally done nothing but try and help him through 3 fucking games.
I know. I was like, look, he scares his head, not mine, or anything like that.
Yep.
Commander, I have the Solarian base on sensors.
Set her down.
That's why I said what I did, Kit. With Renegade, I can kind of see why he wouldn't trust you maybe a little bit, even though you still fucking helped him at almost every single turn.
Basically.
But in Paragon, you did literally everything you could to help them.
Yeah.
I knew they'd never keep their word. Let's see them try to stop a Krogan airdrop.
Not even an airdrop. That's like 10 feet off the ground.
I was like, well, it is Krogan. They can't probably talk. I mean, they probably can't count for distance.
Oh, Krogan can't talk. Are we
Yes.
Are you going Quarian on me?
Exactly.
Hold! Stand down! Hold your fire! Commander Shepard, restrain your colleague. We only found out about this transfer a few moments ago.
I'd like to avoid a diplomatic incident.
As would we.
But you have something valuable to Rex.
Something worth dying for.
This matter can be resolved, but I must insist he remain under guard.
I can handle this, Rex.
Anything goes wrong and all bets are off.
I like that how the ship stays up in the air and everything, being like, I'm just gonna stay up here and wait until you guys settle your differences.
And the person aboard that ship's just questioning whether or not they need to fucking book it the moment gunfire starts. They ain't gonna land to save your ass.
Brings back memories.
As you can see, this base contains sensitive information.
What kind of work goes on here?
Evolutionary trials, morphological simulations, exogenetic assessments.
Nothing is ever simple with Solarians, is it?
Science has always been our best defense. The research we do here has kept Surkesh safe for millennia.
Does that include studying lost Krogan?
The females were in poor health when we found them on Tachanka. They were brought here to stabilize their condition.
That's why only one of them lived.
Basically.
I'd like to see them.
He's just mad because he's never had fresh air.
Give me a few moments and meet me near the elevator.
Yeah, fresh air that's not fucking irradiating to all hell.
Think about all the places you go throughout the games and think how many of them actually have fresh looking environments. This is actually a rarity for him.
True.
You have clearance now to see the females, Commander. I hope we can resolve this matter without reenacting the Krogan rebellions.
Which, depending on the game you play, either did not happen or did happen.
Exactly.
What do you think about handing over the Krogan?
I differ from most of my colleagues. Curing the genophage will bring closure to this issue. In the future, the Krogan may yet play some role we can't even imagine. We should let the evolutionary process decide who lives and dies, not galactic politics.
Thanks for your time.
Of course. Proceed into the elevator when you're ready.
Galactic politics didn't decide. Evolution did actually decide for them, and then Morden got involved.
Yeah.
Now take this elevator down, and someone will...
Alert. Threat condition 2 has been declared. Scramble readiness teams.
What's happening?
Oh, I love how those birds look, right? With all 5 frames of movement.
Then again, they did have to get this running on a PS3. As someone who owned a PS3, I can vouch it was not a very powerful system.
All specimens are accounted for, sir. Shepard, excellent timing. Good to have you here.
Morden.
Eyesight still sharp. Surprise understandable. Hadn't expected to return to work.
You're back with STG.
Special consultant. Had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it wrong.
Yeah, we know that line.
Helped female Krogan. Fed information to Clan Erdnot. Encouraged political pressure to free females.
You must be Rex's inside source.
I still find that really scummy that even in the Renegade option, he destroys all their fucking data, and then he's just like, oh, I fed the information to fan flames between the two sides.
Yeah.
These didn't survive.
But what about Malin's research? I thought we saved it.
Indeed, data saved, but not complete. Lacks crucial details to reconstruct cure, but still useful for synthesizing from living tissue. Couldn't save them.
I'm sure you did everything you could, Morden.
Arrived too late. Cannot delay now.
Not even sure how the data from the guy actually matters for saving these Krogan. Like, how would that really matter?
Survives.
They were unhealthy.
Yeah, Eve survives because he doesn't need to take as much and everything from her because of the data.
So he literally kills them on purpose? That's what you're basically saying.
He kills her more or less by accident, but you could say.
Shouldn't saving their lives be more important than trying to cure the genophage there? That's my point here, Kit.
Take you home.
Why? What am I to you?
Have the Solarians been mistreating you?
Those are my sisters you saw back there. They died in a lot of pain.
Did the best we could.
And now I know I'm the only one left. That makes me dangerous to a lot of people. What about you, Commander Shepard? Why are you here?
You're the future of the Krogan race. I'm fighting for that.
Doesn't sound like a lie.
Yeah.
Give me an update. Outbound communications have been severed. We're cut off. Secure all data to off-site location.
What's happening?
We have multiple ships inbound.
Shepard, it's Rex. Cerberus troops are attacking the base. Get the females out of there now!
Only one survived, Rex. It might be safer down here.
What? So the Solarians can kill her like the others? No deal. If you still want this alliance, get her out of there.
Release the female.
Yeah,
We're leaving.
Good or bad, he's still acting like a complete asshole about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Noted. Now, please release Krogan. Need to monitor pod as it clears quarantine procedures.
Meet us at next checkpoint, Shepard. Likely Cerberus opposes genophage cure.
You'll see Tuchanka again. I promise.
Get to elevator, Shepard.
It actually kind of makes no sense as to why Morden is actually helping her. You can kind of claim sort of he feels a guilty conscience and all that shit, but he literally tries to argue against the guilty conscience bullshit throughout the entire last game.
Yeah.
Then just magically he turns tail suddenly, and suddenly now he feels bad.
Basically.
Get back!
Is there another way out of here?
Shepard, Cerberus forces trying to locate female.
We need
Quarantine checkpoint under attack. Hurry!
I have to wonder, though, how did the Cerberus even find out that they were down here?
That's a good question.
They're the only people who knew about it other than the Solarians were not Rex. Specifically because Morden gave him the information.
Yeah.
So, does that mean Morden was letting the Cerberus troops know too?
At best, they got hacked, I guess, maybe?
Ah, yes, the Solarians, with all their higher ingenuity and super tech, got hacked.
Well,
without
I mean,
knowing about it.
Cerberus does have the Reaper tech, so...
Yeah, but at the same time, you guys can tell that there's Reaper tech being used places too. Remember the Legion fiasco?
Yeah.
You guys have tech that can read that Reaper tech is being used, so... Wow, that was hilarious. Just grabbed and smacked him into a wall that was to his right. Admittedly, I kind of wish you could do that to your allies too.
Ah.
Then again, it would be kind of sad to lose because you just threw, because you suddenly accidentally threw Garrus off a wall.
Could have sworn he was muttering to Sony
Yeah.
the whole time. Shepard, Cerberus troops at checkpoint, attempting to kill Krogan. Need assistance. I see the checkpoint. They're under fire. Let's get in there.
I knew that was coming so well, he actually dodged without looking. Admittedly, it would have been funnier if he floated in the air for a little bit.
Yeah, they could probably do
how
that
could
with the
this
higher
happen
levels.
to me thing.
They could probably do that in higher levels, but yeah, that's funny.
I doubt it. I get the feeling it's just to throw him out of cover thing.
Quickly, Shepard. Technician dead. Clear us through the checkpoint.
Are you okay?
Good thing you understand Solarian language.
Yeah.
You can even see on
Much
the
less
video,
I'm a master at hacking.
Females kept secret. Possibly a mole in STG could be indoctrinated. If no Krogan alliance
Okay, so he said there might be some.
They're speculating that there could be a mole inside STG, possibly indoctrinated, but there is no actual explanation for that.
That is true.
Just a quick excuse.
Yeah. At most, that seems like that could be the most likely.
Then where? Indoctrinated individuals usually show signs.
I don't know.
No, it's quite convenient. They just happen to show up at the exact same time that you go to collect the Krogan female.
Well, they did say they just got warning of the transfer.
Yeah, it would also kind of lead to problems, though, is what I'm saying. See, that would kind of mean that Cerberus were just hovering outside the location and you didn't know about it. Or they literally just got word of the transfer and within a few minutes Cerberus was able to get here this entire way. Which one seems more likely, Kit?
Yeah, maybe they were, so at bus they were already on their way and we just got lucky, I guess. You could
How
say.
convenient.
Cerberus isn't fooling around. They're capable of anything.
Yeah, but turning against the whole galaxy? That's some real shit.
It just seems very suspicious. More like they recently found out about the Krogan and were on their way, and you just happen to be there. It's suspicious, but it also at least makes a little more sense than nobody caught the fucking Cerberus ships out front of this place.
Yeah.
Seriously, you guys had to come to the planet. No one would have noticed that there were Cerberus ships in the general vicinity?
I guess not. Seems like, huh? Boy, this latch is so useful.
They got the Solarians.
Man, that's such a useful move. I wish I had learned about it earlier.
Oh well. You got it now, and that's what's important. It would have made early insanity too easy, Kit.
Probably.
You wouldn't have wanted early insanity to be too easy, would you?
Yes.
Why else would they be here? Every war has its traitors.
I like how it didn't even get hit by those blasts. It just killed him and died over.
Yeah. I was like, bad food. Woot, breakdancer!
We'll leave him alive for a little bit.
Yep. Oh, he stopped.
Well, then I guess he dies.
Exactly.
The only person who gets to dance poorly and stop dancing poorly is Kazuma Kiryu. Everyone else just has to die.
I'm headed up top.
Elevator malfunctioning, Shepard. Need assistance.
Have so many checkpoints to bring something up. This seems kind of over the top.
No kidding. You know what I do notice also? There's no hacking mini games in this one.
Probably for the better.
Yeah, I agree, but still, I did notice that.
Wow, they're really chewing it down this time. I like how they have you on a time limit, and right there they have an audio log that you're supposed to be listening to while you're trying to hurry.
It's like there was an audio log? I wasn't even listening.
Yeah, you clicked on an audio log.
I know.
It was talking about the Varen.
Excellent. Concurus. Wait! Another Cerberus squad.
Keep up the pressure. Yes, sir. Understood.
Affinity for destruction intact, Shepard. Concurus through now.
How are you holding up?
He just insulted you.
Can't take much more.
I'm not your problem.
Yeah, see, it's all in alien language, so how the fuck do you know the buttons fit?
Yeah.
Hang in there.
And it's not even translating to English to you.
Just the
For
light
you,
area.
it looks like.
Hope Erdnot Rex still waiting.
He has to.
I'll see you up top.
We found the Krogan.
I like how you just yanked him into the other guy's grenade. Imagine how much that would suck. You see your friend throw a grenade, you see him die, and then you just see a lash just yank you right on top of the fucking grenade.
Yeah, that would kind of suck quite a lot.
Get your ass up here. I can't fly around forever.
Wow, that pussy got back on the ship, Kit.
I think we're near the top.
Krogan really are cowards. I mean, seriously, he just jumps onto the ship instead of fighting.
Yeah, he's
So
not
much for
down
the
here and
human
everything. He's like, I gotta keep the ship shape. Insane.
So much for that Krogan him saying that the Krogan female was worth dying over.
Yeah.
Appears safe. Need final approval now, Shepard. Shepard, you must authorize release.
Fuck, this is going so much quicker right there.
Yep.
Without having to input the cheat and such into it.
That wasn't a cheat. We already discussed that. That was an exploit. That was an oversight on the game's
Exploit,
design.
oversight.
Those fuckers can literally drop like that. Why the fuck don't they just drop like 6 at a time? I don't think even on this difficulty, if they drop 6 of them at a time, you'd be able to win easily.
It's like, at least be glad they didn't decide to do that. Fudge, that would suck.
Then again, James would still survive.
Yeah.
Krogan has been acquired.
Dory's damaged. Can't get out.
Stay clear. I've got this.
Protect the Krogan, Shepard. She's vulnerable.
That's some serious firepower. Maybe we can crack it open. Maybe we better do it quick.
Yes, yes. They're hinting at breaking the glass, Kit.
Yep.
Pretty sure it's almost dead, though.
There. Josh shot the grenade at it.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Nope. Oh, I got
It's
I got it. I got it open. I got it open just for it to explode.
You were just giving him a way out, so he didn't die with it. Yeah, that would actually be kind of an interesting twist, is if you actually did damage it enough to break it, and then it starts blowing up, the soldier jumps out.
Yeah.
I can understand them not implementing that. That just would have been kind of neat.
I agree.
It would have been annoying at the same time. Can you imagine every fight you break it open and they end up jumping out? It'd been like fighting the Berserkers, well, the Goliaths in Borderlands, and you getting pissed off at me because I keep shooting the buckets.
Ah. I still, after a while, I enjoy them too.
Let's make this quick.
The stronger they get, the better loot they drop. It's very simple logic.
Let's get you out of there.
Plus, it's fun watching them fight each other.
I agree. Oh, an accurate shotgun.
I can
Obviously, he carries the shotgun from the first game.
Obviously.
He's kept the shotgun all the way from the beginning.
And I love how small it is in his hands.
Keep in mind, that's the actual Krogan shotgun.
Yeah. Hell, you would figure with the Krogan ones, they would be extremely bigger, too.
Why is Cerberus here? What do you want?
Kind of wish there was sort of a renegade option to just shoot the dead bodies.
I think I made my eyebrows just a little too bushy.
So yes, now you're seeing what I was saying.
Yes,
it looks
I'm
like your
seeing them
eyebrows
now.
are becoming unibrows.
Yeah.
If I get Krogan boots on Caliban.
Like I said, the face has so much going on out at all times.
I don't know. The elusive man is up to something.
And for some reason, I want to say Ralph. I'm like, what's his? Is it Ralph? I don't know. From Ed and Eddie. Many doors, yes, Eddie.
How's the Prothean device?
Yes, that's Ralph.
Ah, Ralph. Okay.
Alliance R&D has officially begun construction.
There's many doors, isn't it? Right, Ed boy.
We're throwing everybody who
Just
You have to
because
watch
my
that
eyebrows
episode
are so
again to
freaking huge.
understand it.
Huh?
You'd have to watch the episode again to understand, to properly say that.
Yeah.
Reality has many doors, isn't that right, Ed boy?
Massive in scope, but strangely simple as well.
I haven't really watched that series too much. I never watched those ones because I never had cable when that show was popular. I've only seen like bits and clips that you can find off of YouTube, and much less, um,
Stupidity.
much less like sometimes like when I'm waiting at the doctor's office and they had it on TV, or at a friend's house. Like I did when I was in Germany, but yeah, not no more.
You know, I just realized is a problem here though. You're creating the Crucible.
Yeah.
And then you're going to hook it up to the Citadel. But to make it fire and such, quote unquote fire, you need to get your hands on the catalyst. The catalyst is connected to a VI located within the Thesia location. That VI is then necessary to get your hands on to be able to put it.
Well, that one
in...
more just tells you that the Crucible is the Citadel.
Yes, but I was trying to get around to this, Kit.
Unless every Krogan gets
It then sends you with that detail that the catalyst is actually in the Crucible to the Crucible, right?
Yeah.
And then the Citadel kind of teleports you into the Crucible.
We'll need a sample.
The thing is that the catalyst then kind of says it's the catalyst, not whatever the fuck is supposed to be going on.
Formulating a cure that works for every Krogan.
I understand I'm not exactly formulating this very good, but that calls into question how the fuck the catalyst even came around in this case, because it kind of implies you kind of have to build the catalyst to be able to do any of this, because it's not the Citadel that has the catalyst, it's the Crucible that has the catalyst.
Don't need to worry.
Then get started, Morden.
How the fuck did the catalyst get in the Crucible?
We'll be in medbay if you'd like to speak more.
Fuck if I know.
Requires tests.
Eve?
Female's real name unknown. Normandy, a human vessel. Human mythology seemed appropriate under circumstances. Suggest speaking with her. New perspective. Surprising in Krogan.
Now, is there anything else?
There's a small matter concerning a ship we've lost contact with.
What happened?
I'd rather discuss it in private.
Turian problems can't even come close to what I've got.
Also, after the whole situation involving the Krogan stuff, I'm just gonna have to say that the Turian problem really is worse than what the Krogan have.
That is true, because
Krogan lost some men. Turian are losing their fucking planet.
Yeah.
Krogan ain't got shit on what the Turians have going on.
Hell of a show down there on Sirkesh. Just like the old days, Shepard. Right down to me pulling your ass out of the fire.
I was the one with bullets flying at me.
And I gave you the moral support to dodge them.
You said one of your squads is missing?
Well, we definitely one thing. He sure didn't tank them for you.
Yeah.
They were scouting out the Rachni relay. We've heard rumors of trouble in the area.
Rachni?
Thought that might get your attention. I have a favor to ask. It's big.
Don't tell me they're back.
All I know for sure is our scouts went silent as soon as they arrived. I've got Arlac Company, my best unit, on standby. You give the word, and they'll meet you there.
I'll see what I can do.
Get on it.
In this period, it would make some sense, seeing as, you let the Rachni live.
Let's get back to work.
Yeah.
Anytime.
But it's still really stupid how they failed so much at genociding that fucking race.
Oh, I mean, apparently they did do it and everything. There was just one egg left, which became the queen, as they stated in the one.
I miss this place.
Yeah, you're telling me they missed a single egg on a derelict ship, Kit? A single egg.
I know, that brings up the whole thing of why didn't they just blow up the ship?
Commander.
It also comes to the question as to how the fuck they went through the entire ship, destroyed everyone, then left. And missed a single fucking egg.
At best, the egg was maybe just hidden in a place and everything that they didn't bother looking.
What are your men doing there?
And once again, why didn't they just blow it up?
Exactly.
See, that still comes into play.
Exactly. Man, hell, they're the Krogan. They love explosions.
They are supposed to.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can.
I appreciate your help.
And sorry, I still have a problem believing that the Arachni being taken over by the Reapers happened to give up enough genetic research that the Reapers started being able to mass produce them in massive quantity. Keep in mind that no other race can they do this with. They have to. They don't have like a fucking. They don't have like two husks, a male and a female, just humping somewhere to create more husks, so that they can constantly have husks coming after you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that they just happened to indoctrinate a queen, and it just happened to be huskified and produce more huskified Rachni. That seems highly suspicious, if you ask me.
All right, let's go get this. Let's go for Grunt's mission.
To me, it just sounds like they keep wanting to push the Rachni on people, and they decide to shove them in yet another mission.
Yep.
Yet once again, it just furthers the idea that the Rachni really were never wiped out. So why the fuck did they want to even genocide the Krogan in the first place? I know why I want to genocide the Krogan at this point, but I'm not sure why they wanted to genocide the Krogan at this point. Sorry, at this point, the Krogan have failed so spectacularly at killing off a species that they supposedly killed off over multiple... Keep in mind, just keep in mind, kid, the genocide of the Rachni is why the genophage was done.
Yeah.
The first time. That meant that... I don't know the exact time when it happened, but it happened more than 100 years ago. They did the initial genocide, the genophage.
Any updates, Shepard?
It was more than 100 years ago they did that. They somehow found Arachni after multiple, at least a century of being idle in a ship with no one else around it, that still had a functioning embryo in it that was fertilized to be able to hatch into a live queen.
I think they said it was like frozen or something.
That's what everyone thought.
That just leads to more questions, Kit.
Hard to forget. It was that secret lab.
Well, I mean, you have those. There's the like for real and everything. There was like 2 worms that were frozen on a glacier, and then after defrosting and everything, they sprung back to life. Maybe it's the same thing.
Specific types of worms, though, but more so, a yolk wouldn't exactly function properly in that development era. And even so, you're telling me that it was put in a specific location where it could freeze like that. Note that the reason people freeze in space is devoid of many different factors. It's not simply, hey, it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
That being the case, it makes no sense that they would just find a fucking functional egg. It's not cryostasis.
They did.
It's just ice. Now, if it wasn't cryostasis, that means a Krogan purposely left the fucking egg alone, because there's no fucking way they had a hidden cryostasis storage somewhere that was still functioning on that ship.
That's why I'm out here running Arlac Company.
I have no idea how to explain it. Yeah, it's like I'm thinking how to think for it. Yeah.
There are genuinely problems with the idea that the Krogan genocided this group, got the genophage put on him, and then you find one segment of it later on an abandoned ship somewhere.
Seems crazy.
It just seems more... This also once more Reaper infestation.
Yeah.
Reapers apparently had them over a century ago, even though not a single hint of Reapers showed up after that point for at least a fucking century.
Yeah, and which we find out later it might have been more the creators of the Reapers, controlling them and such to a point or something.
Creators of the Reapers doing it, so that just leads to even more questions. Why the fuck were they causing a fucking war against the regular people?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, see, more questions just get fucking risen as you try and explain this shit. You don't ever go to a point of, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's, but wait, what about this? But wait, what about this? But wait, what about this?
It's like this.
If this is the case, then what about this over here? It's just endless.
Not surprised Grunt.
Seriously, think about it. Has there been a single other example of a huskified creature being able to just mass reproduce? Have you seen a single one? Yet we're supposed to believe that it just happens to conveniently be that way with the Rachni.
So it seems.
We're right behind you.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that because one of the big things with the huskifying is you could maybe argue that they are basically repurposing genetic material, which wouldn't really work with a Rachni queen constantly making more genetic material, seeing as they would they would run out of genetic material.
Now all I can think is, it's like, quick, somebody play the play the Jurassic Park theme.
Looks like we're all okay.
Life finds a way.
Right, it's like, hey, maybe they did it like that, right? I mean, they have the ability apparently too.
Got a body of a scout here.
This also leads to more questions here because if you notice, there's like no life on this planet, so there's no genetic material that they could have taken. They couldn't just be bringing back genetic material to repurpose more. There is nobody here.
Yeah.
And if this was the case, then these Krogan wouldn't be dead around the place. They would have literally eaten them for genetic material to make more Rachni.
Yeah.
What are those?
I don't know.
They explode? Really?
This also leads to more questions thinking on it. If the Reapers could just make this, why the fuck weren't they just making a bunch of them up until now? And the argument of maybe they were and they just kept them hidden doesn't really work because they have already shown to unify them with other groups, which means you would have seen these Rachni showing up with the collectors in Mass Effect 2, had they been being made at the time. And if we were to believe that they were controlling the Rachni way back when, over a century ago at the very least, and that's when they got the genetic material for them because they were genocided after the fact, so they couldn't have done that. It kind of leads to another question as to why the fuck they waited till this time to start using the Rachni like this. Because they obviously weren't doing it before.
At best, the thing is just because, like, since they're now starting to attack and everything, they might as well just unleash all their troops.
But you don't have nearly enough Rachni troops for that. Think about it. You have a century to just mass produce a unit, and you can mass produce said unit, as proven by this section here. They had apparently produced enough in the short amount of time, basically, to create the amount that they had. And I say they had to produce enough in this short amount of time is because if they had been producing at the rate that they imply that they are here, all this time, you would have literally had an unstoppable army. They would have had enough that they could have just attacked the planet all Starship Trooper wise and just have endless amounts of bugs. There would have been no way to have hid them in the first place, let's keep that in mind, simply by how many there would have been. And at the same time, they would have had such a massive amount that they wouldn't have needed to hide them.
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee if this planet was filled to the brim with those Ravagers, yeah, Krogan wouldn't be getting fucking anything done. I'm just saying, the entire thing is just too contrived. The timing for when it started happening, the fact that they magically have enough organic material to consistently do this. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Oh, and the fact they just keep leaving Krogan bodies around, even though they would obviously need genetic material.
Yep.
Also, that leads to a question. At any point, do we see a husk version of a Krogan?
Looks like we're finding another way out of here. Come on.
What was that noise,
Nope. There's quite a few that don't have their own husks.
Well, the Elcor and the Hanar and the Volus, I kind of see not having because, well, we barely have those fucking races in this game. But most every other race that you have that you interact with as a standard, they do have one.
Yeah.
did you find?
Except Krogan.
Basically.
They died making sure
Also,
we
with the
could make
Reapers being as
essential
smart as they are, why didn't they cure the genophage? Yeah, I just added a question. You're probably just questioning why I'm so stupid as to ask that question, but think about it. The Reapers apparently have, in the past, bargained with planets and their leaders in order to get them on their side. That's
That
the
is
whole
true.
aspect of indoctrination, at least in the first game, before they go bullshit with it. That
Yeah.
they're bargaining with not Garrus, Saren and stuff like that. They're bargaining, and that's how he got indoctrinated in the first place, is the bargaining. Simply put, they could literally offer Rex to fix the genophage.
Yeah.
This motherfucker will do anything for the genophage to be cured, so we know he will agree to that. So why didn't they?
Looks like a last message. He's asked that it be delivered to a Star.
Guess I didn't think about it. It's like, cause the creators of the story probably didn't think about that plot line.
Plus, let's ignore the fact that both Quarian and Turian, well, not Turian, Quarian and Krogan, the two races that don't basically have a homeworld anymore and have the most incentive to join the Reapers, neither one of them is asked by the Reapers to get help.
Yep.
The Reapers don't ask either one of them, and instead try to kill them both off.
This
It
thing
honestly
really
makes
works
no
well
sense.
against them now.
Yeah, it kind of shows that they more intended you to play on like this difficulty or something like that. I'd say probably expected more like normal difficulty. But
Yeah.
because you do seem to have a significant amount of ammo now, so they
Yep.
probably expected it to be higher difficulty. But it definitely is notable that that Insanity was not exactly set up. You know, maybe that's where cannibals are.
Huh. You thinking the cannibals are the Krogan?
Well, they do have a shell on their back.
Hmm.
Like the Krogan armor. They also supposedly regenerate by eating other beings, Kit.
Yeah.
Humans don't really do that. I mean, technically, if we really want to talk really, really technical, we do. That's not the point. Krogans are supposed to be the ones with the super healing.
Yeah.
At the same time, we literally never see Krogans getting attacked except by one single Reaper, and that's only a specific time at a specific timing in the game. So it seems weird that I guess they didn't even have them, but yeah. We never really see them even attempt. I mean, they attacked the Yakshi facility, and they attempted it right fucking away.
Yeah, no kidding.
Turians are turned into two different species while they're being attacked. Protheans have a creature that they became. Admittedly, I don't think Quarians did either. Again, I'm noticing a trend here. The two races that don't have a planet are the two races that didn't get fucking affected by the Reapers pretty much at all.
Neither did the Solarians.
No, that one's debatable. The Solarians kind of did, kind of didn't. I mean, we don't really know completely, but I guess, no, technically you're right. They're the odd one out in that example.
Yeah.
These don't look like regular Ragni. The Reapers must have changed them. You know what? I think they're bringing an army of those things down here. It all adds up. They reproduce crazy fast, and now
See, reproduce crazy fast, and nobody will know until it's too late. They had over a century to reproduce crazy fast, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And this was all they really created.
Oh. Okay, I got the reason now why the creators would do that, to create war. To wipe them out, because they knew they would be a super major race and everything.
But the creators wouldn't be trying to do that. It would actually be beneficial for them if the Rachni still survived.
Maybe, but then the Reapers still would get their hands on them.
Well, Well, no, they already have their hands on them. But even that aside, the fact that the Reapers have the genetics would kind of mean that the creators fucked up. Win it.
Basically.
And also, it makes no sense why the creators would cause them to make war and start a fight against these other ones, when keeping in mind that by doing so, they would essentially guarantee. Well, they actually wouldn't guarantee anyone would wipe out the Rachni. Even in Mass Effect 1, it's supposed to be a surprise that the Krogans would go so far as to genocide them.
For now, but they can smell our wounds. Any worthy enemy would regroup and finish us. Soon.
We're close, Cliff. Those barriers were protecting whatever's down that passage.
We'll dig in here, kill anything that moves. Buy you some time.
Good luck.
But yeah, the genocide of the Rachni, it was supposed to be a surprise. It was part of what made everyone fear the Krogan. Made them agree to the genophage in the first place. That being the case, it also wouldn't make sense to do it for that reason either.
Heads up. More eggs. Take it slow.
Yeah, really, is there a reason to blow up the eggs? Because so far it just seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I could, unless they're more or less impeding my path. Yeah, it doesn't seem like really much.
What is that?
It'd be funny if each egg gave you like +1 renegade.
Right. We've located the central chamber.
Too bad, like those cows didn't, and won.
Cow? I think you mean monkeys.
Oh yeah, the monkeys. That's it.
Good job, Kit. You have mixed a cow with a macaque.
Yeah.
Where's the switch?
This is it, people.
Admittedly, something would be kind of neat to see in one of these games is a more accurate representation of flamethrowers.
Alright, let's take a look-see. It looks more like just like a husk with a big growth on its back.
Well, its mouth does open up stupidly
Oh wait,
wide.
no, that's a Batarian face. That's a Batarian face. It's got.
Oh,
that's Batarian.
So even the Batarians get something,
Yeah.
but the Quarians and the Krogans do not.
Yeah, that's Batarians right there.
Well, now we know where they came from.
Aha! It's like, wait a minute, that head looks a little too big to be a human. So yeah,
Hey,
husks
you figured it
are
out.
husks are human. Batarians are those guys.
Cannibals.
Are the cannibals?
That's not insulting to a race at all.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, I guess you can say it was big brain of them.
Yeah.
Stay focused.
Fuck, that's not even.
Wow, it does so little damage.
I know, right? Okay, there it goes. There it goes.
You're slowly losing health.
Yeah, I saw that.
Even on easy, you're still using the.
Oh, that's
exploit.
because I was being stupid.
I know, I just found it funny. It's like, that exploit's fun. I'm keeping it, even on the easiest difficulty. It's not like you need health in this difficulty.
Yeah, no kidding.
Keep it up, people.
I will point out of most every one of these, the least threatening is the one made of humans. You know, the creatures that supposedly are the most dangerous.
Yeah.
Though I still think it's very curious that, once again, we haven't really seen Quarian husks or Krogan husks. Yet we even saw Batarian husks.
That is funny though that we did, that we found out what the hell they were. I always thought they were humans.
I still want to know why it is they chose 2 different husk designs for Turians. Because Marauder is Turian.
Yeah, the Marauders
so
are
is the
obviously
Brute.
Turian.
The Brute, I would have figured that would have been Krogan, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, the face.
It's Turian.
Yeah, the face is definitely Turian.
Whatever spooked them won't last. Finish the job.
Copy that.
And here's the Rachni Queen.
What the hell?
By the way, this does prove that the that they take over dead bodies, because if you remember in the first one they kind of had that one corpse stand up. I think it was implied it wasn't actually dead in like Mass Effect 2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this kind of proves they do take over dead bodies.
Well, I mean it dropped dead after it finished taking out or something.
The Reapers did this to you?
The note of the machines is everywhere.
And I'm not really sure that the creators of the Reapers are connected at all to this.
Yeah, that's of course they're saying sour notes. Well, the other, which would mean their stuff is a lot more penetrating and everything.
Okay, so they're now saying this is the Queen from that game, from Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, this one is the Queen. The other one was more a, just one of the things made into a queen and everything. A regular grunt made into a queen somehow.
Pretty sure it's the same model kit, so I'm pretty sure it was still supposed to be the same implication, just a situation of, oh, well, you killed that one, so we got to be careful to imply it's a different one.
Yeah.
Can you still feel the Reapers? Can they influence you?
We hear
Oh, shit.
but they cannot control us. Remove this last shackle, and we are free.
Sure, okay, I really believe that.
They will destroy us all. Release us.
He's like, yeah, this one helps us, while the other one turns against us and everything.
Copy that, Grunt. Are you capable
Seems
of
like just a really stupid ass pull connection kit.
I know. But yeah, the other one helps. The other one helps the Reapers because it's more machine than it. Well, this one's more
She's a mess. She needs too much time to escape.
creature.
At the same time, it still seems kind of stupid. I
Yeah.
mean, further on this aspect here, what you're basically saying is that the more machine is more controllable. Remember what we learned in Mass Effect 2, kid?
I know. Hell, what we learned in 3 for like for the Geth and such too.
Yeah.
Shepard, you sure about this? That's an order. She's too valuable an asset to lose.
And before it turns on you anyway.
Now get us out of here.
So why did he leave his team?
Huh?
Well, he just said, damn you, Shepard, I'm leaving my team. So, why did he leave his team?
I guess the swarm started to attack and everything.
Why didn't he stay with his team?
I don't know. I guess to help get you out because or something.
Someone's down that path. I'll hold them off.
exactly a genius, is he?
Well, he's never claimed to be smart.
I know. Then again, neither of you, but your character still gets all this wordy dialogue at the end. Saying my turn as if you hadn't been fighting the fuck out of them already.
I know.
A valiant fight he's putting up, where a cockroach lands on his shoulder. Really, James should have stayed. He'd be walking out completely fine. With how easily, well, how, you know what really is interesting to think about? These things have armor, right?
Yeah.
Look at how many fleshy sacks that you can just punch through, apparently. Armored.
That is true. It's like, why isn't that armored or something?
And thus he dies.
Grunt!
Anybody got something to eat?
If he's hungry, I have to wonder, did he try eating any of the Rachni?
It's like, they're not Saiyans.
I didn't say shit about Saiyans.
I
If
know.
he's hungry enough, then those things are fleshy.
We can count on her.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like if you cook them over a fire and everything, they might taste pretty decent. Yeah, they might taste like chicken.
Bugs are usually filled with protein.
Yeah, yeah, would be a great meal for them.
Those tiny cockroaches would probably be pretty good. Except I'm sure there'd be a lot of tech parts in there. It'd probably be like eating something been shot with BBs.
Probably, huh?
It was bloody.
Oh my truth. It's another circuit board.
It's like, damn circuit boards all over the place on this damn thing. This grub.
I heard you made some kind of deal with the Arachnite Queen. If they get out of hand again, it's your ass on the line.
Understood.
I heard Grunt managed to get out of there with a few scratches.
Also, I'm still calling bullshit on the fact that she supposedly broke Reaper control over her.
I should get back to it. Keep me posted, Shepard.
When has it happened in any part of this game, Kit? When has one single character ever successfully broken control, well, Reaper control?
Fuck if I know.
Good. Then you can put
And it's all because you were kind to them early on. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yep.
Useless unless given to entire species.
You're usually full of ideas, Morton. You altered the genophage before. There must be a way.
Of course, always possibilities, but time limited. Can't create new infection strain from scratch. Groundwater? No, too slow. Voluntary inoculation risky. Population too scattered for airborne. Unless... Wait, yes! The Shroud. Constant global dispersion of air particles, built by Solarians to repair atmosphere of Tuchanka. Also used by Turians.
We used it to secretly spread the genophage virus. It ended the Krogan rebellions.
I'd be careful who you tell that to.
I'd like to
Sometimes
point
I
something out
understand
here.
Why the Krogan want to shoot everyone in
Again, if you remember Mass Effect 2, Morden states that them blowing themselves up was not not caused by the genophage. It was just them reacting. This implies that they blew the place up after the genophage was released. According to what they're saying here, these shrouds towers were used to cure the atmosphere after the fact, even though they supposedly were used to spread the genophage.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the Rachni workers. That's a pretty nice bet
care
right
not.
there. 100 points for them.
And you still got renegade points. The renegade paragon system in this game makes absolutely no sense.
I know. I don't know. I understand either.
Commander, Cerberus is attacking civilians on Benning. We've been asked to help evacuate the planet. Commander, nice to see you again.
I have an idea, Kit. Go save the Benning area and send them to Sanctuary.
To integrate data feeds for the War Summit.
How are the systems holding?
Well, I'm...
No, that could have been an interesting thing to add some kind of moral aspect to this stuff. Have you get the choice of where you send them through the thing, and if you send them to Sanctuary, seeing as we know what Sanctuary is now, later on you'd have to deal with the fact that you sent so many people there.
Yeah. That could be funny because Sanctuary is considered at the start right there as being like, oh, this is a great place for refugees and everything. You'd get Paragon points, and then at the end, it take the those Paragon points that you earned for doing it and everything, and give you Renegade points instead.
No. Don't give them Renegade points. No? Just make it a Paragon decision, and then when you find out about it, you find out about it. Think about it, Kit. How often do people do a good deed only for it to be turned into a bad thing?
Quite a few times, I imagine, because...
So imagine the shock to the player in a good way, that they've been doing a good deed, they thought they were doing a good deed, only to find out in the past that they were being misled the entire time.
That would be interesting.
If you want an example of this, Bloodborne. Remember the two characters you could send people to? You could send one to Yosefka's clinic, or you could send them to the creature in Odin's chapel.
Yeah.
What happens if you send them to Yosefka's clinic, Kit?
It's like, I forget right there. It's been too long since I've
They become turned into celestial children.
Ah.
But if you send them to Odin Chapel, what happens, Kit?
I guess they
all
saved.
live long enough to turn insane.
Ah. So either one is they're still fucked more or less, but one they keep their own self and everything at least.
Technically no. Yeah, technically yes, and technically no. It's a situation where one side is better than the other side, but because of how FromSoft likes to do all their fucking games in the most dreary, dismal, and shittiest way possible, there is no benefit to either side. The only real benefit is if you take him to Yosefka's clinic, she'll give you rewards. Where if you take him to Odin Chapel, you just get to see him die in a more stupid way.
Yeah. Let's see, capacity, damage, impact, power, more. Let's see, slam.
But point is that the idea of you doing something kind, or what's perceived as kind, through part of the game, only to have it suddenly turned against you, and for you to see that in fact it was the wrong thing to do, would be quite an impactful scene.
Yeah.
So long as they didn't actually try and force you to deal with the fact of what all you've done, like have your character going, "What have I done?" and shit like that. So long as they let your mind come to the conclusion of what the fuck is actually going on.
Yeah. So they could have had a major moment, yeah.
We'll get it done.
They could have had a major moment that the player would have had to feel while their characters didn't really acknowledge it.
Yeah.
That's the important part. If the characters don't acknowledge it, but it has a effect on the player, that's the trick.
Oh, this place. Okay.
Let's find the control room for those cannons. Kill anything in our way. Sounds simple.
Yay, it's time for Jacob's idiot ass to show back up.
No, this isn't Jacob's. This is that. This is the gun turrets one. This is those huge gun turrets. One of the multiplayer stages. When they existed, of course.
So this isn't the one in which you're supposed to be helping the Renegade Cerberus troops that got loose?
Yeah, that's later on.
Okay, I was pretty sure this was the Cerberus troop one where you end up helping the Cerberus troops.
Nope.
I could be wrong. You know, just like Jacob, who thought it was a smart idea to go back to Cerberus after he literally knew that they were already evil.
I know, I still don't understand why he did that either.
Plot contrivance, Kip.
Basically.
This ain't even a threat at this point.
Control center secure. Then I think it's time to test this cannon. Not the kind of Krogan relic I expected to find.
They're pulling the plug. You'll need to get the power back on.
Let's move.
I wouldn't have thought that this was that part though, but I could be wrong. At this point, I'm kind of zoned out on these games anyway. Well, partially zoned out. I know I can't be completely zoned out. You'll get grumpy. Someone's listening to BFG Division.
Yeah, apparently. Like, hey, if I'm gonna get my ass kicked, I'm gonna get my ass kicked listening to the most kick-ass tune ever.
They've got resistance, Kit. Did you know that?
Yeah. Think they do.
I know, it shocked me too.
I was like, come on now, they must be lying to us.
Threw me on the floor. It pulled at my it tugged at my heartstrings. That they would lash out in such a fashion, I just could not believe it.
Whee!
Obviously what happened, Kit, is they just made it mandatory now that all bypasses use Omnigel.
Yeah.
I've rerouted the power to the main console. Heading back now.
They decided that hacking minigames were really fucking annoying. That's what they did. So now instead you just use Omnigel for everything. Oh, you want to break into the bank? You need extra Omnigel. Yeah, that actually would be a smart system if you want to catch someone committing crimes ahead of time.
Just keep an eye on where the Omnigel is going.
If you suddenly see a guy pick up like 16 tons of Omnigel, he's probably planning to rob the bank, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's what they do with cough syrup for to try and dissuade people from making meth. So if they suddenly see like stupid amounts of cough syrup leaving the shelves, they usually report that shit.
Yeah.
In some places, there's actually a limit to buying cough syrup to make sure that you can't do that. So I'm just saying, like, if everything ran off Omnigel and it just needed a shit ton of Omnigel to do it, then yeah, that would actually work out really well.
Firing.
Direct starboard hit, Commander. Target breaking up. Repeat, direct hit.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
What'd you hit?
Good work, everyone.
Enemy cruiser, I think.
Seems legit.
Enemy like Cerberus shooting cruiser, I think, maybe.
Krogan cannons operational. Cerberus has actually given
So
us
I had
the
to
advantage in that
take out
system.
Cerberus troops, I
The
guess.
enemy's pulling back, but we think they'll try to seize the facility again.
Seems likely.
I'm sending an Alliance team to keep it secure. They've got a foothold in a strong defensive position, thanks to you.
Glad to hear it.
Good work, Commander. Hack it out.
So if they have men to spare defending a location by that, why don't they send them to Earth to try and defend that shit?
It's like, I have not a clue.
I understand tactics, but at the same time, with as running thin as everything's supposed to be on Earth, you kind of figure there wouldn't be any room to send troops off.
Yeah, that's a great plan. Follow war with more war.
You're doing Tuchanka, that's why some of this stuff is the way it is.
Yeah.
So what Tuchanka shit are you doing now?
The Turian's quest.
There is a Turian quest on
The
Tuchanka?
one with his son and everything in that bomb.
Crash sites and
Oh,
nuke.
right.
Looks like Rex
Now I
was right about
remember.
Reaper scouts. Edie, any further intel?
The mission brief identifies the Turian commander as Lieutenant Tarquin Victus.
Victus?
Primarch's son.
Huh. Try to raise him.
For a Turian commander, what happened here is... Let's just say the Turian code is not forgiving. And that it's his son is bad for the Primarch. Promoting family without merit can bite you in the ass. What's strange is the Primarch knows that.
Commander, I have to land well back.
Well, for one thing, he wasn't Primarch at the time, so chances are he wouldn't have been doing that shit.
Yeah.
You might get the jump on them.
All right, set her down. Let's save this
I mean,
platoon.
Garrus is kind of presuming a lot right there.
At best,
And some of
maybe
it
it was trying to
very
get
seems
some
unwarranted.
good.
As I mean,
Some
worst
good
case
feeling
scenario,
in
someone who wasn't in a high position of power at the time apparently gave his son a position of power.
Yeah.
At the same time, he seems to actually be trying to do the job, and this is actually a very important mission. It seems unlikely the Primarch would have sent him on this if he wasn't at least somewhat qualified, because guess what? It's his fucking son. He probably doesn't want him fucking dead.
Most likely.
This sounds bad. Let's move.
Looks worse than I feared. A secret Turian mission on Tuchanka is the
And there's where you notice the ladder
You're the
glitch.
Turian. You tell us.
I got nothing, Lieutenant.
When the mission happened, I didn't realize it was on Tuchanka. Otherwise, I would have told you to go ahead and kill improve the genophage early.
We don't want them to call for backup.
Well, these are husks, so that means with the fact you just ran to the other husks of the Rachni, that means they're going to show up here. Which means we already knew the Rachni were on Tuchanka before I was complaining that, the Rachni being on Tuchanka was a problem.
Yeah.
Died in the explosion?
Or dragged out and chewed on by husks.
Isn't that something nice?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a visual on the enemy, and there's an escape pod just beyond. Looks like the Turians are in tough. Enemies up
Yeah,
ahead.
Rachni really should... This is the one fucking place they should not have put Rachni.
Exactly. Let's go.
Good job, Kit. You're really stealthy with that one.
Yep, I know, right?
Harvester! Incoming harvester! Harvester's firing on the Turians!
I was hoping because of the lower health, they'd let you actually kill it.
I mean, I know there's I could kill the one up ahead and everything, but yeah, I think that was just like shoot it until it loses some enough HP and everything.
I'm just saying it would have been kind of interesting if you did enough damage in time, it'd actually let you kill it. Hey, you get to try this gun out now. It's a burst too, isn't it?
Let me say we shall see when I get down there. Whee!
I take it back, Kit. She didn't actually need to use those powers at all, because fall damage doesn't exist in this game. I'm actually giving that as a plus to this game. fall damage in a lot of games sucks.
Nope,
You
it
can't
gets
do
fire
shit
and
like what
hold.
you just did in fall damage games, which was actually a neat little maneuver. Nice way to avoid having to use the ladder.
Yep, yeah, these are Turians.
The harvester that you attacked, it's the exact same one, except it's slightly healed.
Yep.
Well, they say another harvester, but the fact that it has some health loss implies that it's the same harvester.
Yeah.
So it's first, because I can't really tell if you're just spamming the button or not.
Nope, it's hold.
Yeah. So it's not crappy burst.
Nope, it's just the bullets all over the place and everything.
Well, I guess that's good for a weapon like that when you're against a harvester.
Yeah.
Over here. Over here.
Shepard here. What's your status?
We're in deep. Commander, what's your ETA?
Hang tight. We're on our way.
Marnik, how's our velocity?
Deceleration online. We'll survive.
Victus is going to pay for this.
Court-martial or hanging?
How's Victus going to live this down?
When we find him, we'll ask.
It's a good thing Husks just stop in front of you instead of fighting you.
Yeah, no kidding.
You couldn't do it on that one, huh?
Nope.
Disappointing.
Understood.
There's the harvester. Got it on the run.
Like, oh.
By estimation, the damage it just did to you, I would kind of say it looks as though, on insanity difficulty, the damage is increased by 3 times at least.
At least.
The reason I say that is because on insanity difficulty, it would have taken your entire shield with the first shot, and then the next 2 shots would have killed you.
Yeah.
And
With this, it barely just broke my shield.
And I need them to work together, so let's not complicate things.
also, since this is on the Tuchanka, which I didn't realize at the time earlier on, yeah, this actually kind of calls into question why the fuck isn't there some Krogan husks? Because the Reapers are already here.
Yeah.
And the Harvesters are here. So where the fuck are the Krogan husks? You can't tell me that they have failed to bring a single Krogan in to be huskified.
That would be extremely funny.
My only guess, I guess, would make sense for it is that they're not husking them because they can't find a surplus of them. But even then, if they're supposedly as strong as the Krogan are, just husking one of them would still be a substantial benefit to you.
Yeah.
Especially if a Turian becomes that.
Exactly. You have to wonder what was like. What is the difference between this creature and the other one, and the Marauders?
Just have to wonder why the Batarians become cannibals. That name is kind of peculiar. Ravager kind of fits with Rachni, being the whole fact that Rachni are large groups and they would be ravaging locations as they attack them. Marauder kind of works because they're basically running in there and killing you and stuff like that, kind of how Marauders fight. Brute, it's running in there as a durable enemy type.
Yeah.
And then you have Husk, which the humans are being left as basically just a husk of their former self. Plus, they condescendingly named it in the last game, so they kind of had no choice but to use it now. The Banshee also kind of fits with the point of the art of Yakshi, being some Banshees in lore, well, mythology, would in fact take away life force from people. That was part of the reason people didn't like Banshees.
Not to mention their scream.
So it makes sense for a large portion of these. What were the Batarians doing that made them cannibals?
I have not a clue. You have to look up on their wiki. Maybe it tells you.
Over here.
That makes me wonder now.
Lieutenant Victus?
Commander Shepard, my men and I are in your debt. Thank you for saving so many.
What happened here?
He screwed up.
Stand down, soldier.
These men are dead because of him.
I said, stand down.
Hey, I just saved all your asses, so everyone just calm down. Lieutenant, what's going on here?
I made a bad call. This is all on me. I chose caution and clever tactics over a head-on attack. And my men paid the price.
Owning your mistake takes guts. But you have to get over it and move on.
Of course. It's just fresh.
According to the wiki, basically all they have here, cannibals are grotesque cybernetic constructs created by the Reapers and are a common enemy in Mass Effect 3. They are created from the mutated remains of Batarians and humans, and are used as the Reapers' most frequent ground troops. The cannibal is relatively weak to begin with, but is capable of forming armor plates when it is buffed by nearby marauders or when it feeds on the corpses of other cannibals.
Aha.
This behavior is what earned the creature its name. A cannibal's right arm, actually a deformed human corpse, ends with a gun placement that fires rapid pulse blasts.
So they literally had them shove hands up humans' asses to make a gun.
Like it's actually the other way around. From the best I can figure, next to their shoulder of the gun, it looks to have the head, and it looks like the legs are twisting around the gun near the barrel.
So you're getting shot by fart bullets.
Yeah, that's one way to look at
the
it.
The fart gun.
Will not let Cerberus succeed.
It just makes them even more ridiculous and messed up.
Between life and death for this entire galaxy. Let the heroes of the 9th Platoon be remembered for performing their duties with bravery. All right, men. Shuttle's arriving any minute. We're moving out. Commander, come with us. We're a shell of what we were. We could use the help.
Send me the nav point. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. That'll give us time to do a little recon. See what we're up against.
Victus, you have a second chance here. Make their sacrifice count.
Understood, Commander. Hope to see you at the rendezvous.
Cerberus bomb. What the hell is going on, Commander? And what do the Turians have to do with it?
Coordinates Victus gave me place it in the Kelphic Valley. It's a heavily populated area. That's all I know.
My gut says something's not right here.
What do you suggest?
Get the Primarch to come clean.
Should we alert the Krogan military?
I'd wait. We're in the dark here. Krogan-Turian relations are fragile until the genophage is cured. Let's not push it. And how about this bomb? How many troops does Cerberus have on this?
No idea. All I know is we can't have them detonating that bomb.
Keep me in the loop. Hack it out.
So keep in mind that after the Krogan apparently were already affected by the genophage, they set up a fucking secondary nuke to try and wipe them out just in case.
I guess so.
Why hide that?
So that's a major dick-ass move.
I have nothing for you.
Portion of the context given from this game and Mass Effect 2, it starts to really make you question what actually is going on, because
put your
The
people
lore
in
is not
charge of
fitting
others.
the sort of
Why would I
methodology
jeopardize our
shown
alliance
for
by
what these
lying to
characters
you
are
now?
doing. It's more
Doesn't
seeming
make
like
sense.
someone else might have nuked
Decisions
Chachanka, if
like
you know what I
these
mean.
may help.
Yeah.
When I was a general, I could pass them up the chain of command, but now I'm all I've got.
It's like, yeah, that would be pretty funny if they didn't do it to themselves, but
And?
something else did.
And that's all.
Again, that theorizing because
Wait, there is one more thing.
the lore is not nearly as deep as they try and make it
you for
seem.
saving my
This is all surface level shit.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason so many things are up for question and why there's so many questions raised from trying to explain it.
Alright, well, it's basically time for the night and everything.
It's actually 30 minutes past.
No,
Yes.
it's 9 o'clock here, so that's the time we usually stop.
No, we usually stop at 9:30 my time, which would be 8:30 your time.
Oh, unless we're in a mission or something.
Yes, unless we're in a mission. Which you started that mission around, I think, 9:27?
I think, no, not that. I think it was like at least, I think it was like around the 30 mark.
9:27. Putting us basically right at the time of stopping, but we still let you finish.
Yep.
So, not really sure why you're complaining.
Oh well. Yep, alright, let's see here. So, with this, we'll pick it up again on Saturday, the 7th, at 6 p.m. Mountain Time again, as usual. See everybody next time.
Because you want to be such a mountain man.
Exactly. Even though I hate the cold weather.